Hey guys, what's up? It's Erin here from the Petite Planner, and today you are watching my July 2019 Plan With Me video in my bullet journal. If you remember from June, I mentioned that I was switching journals this month because my Nuna is just about full. I probably have enough space for July, but I haven't laid out all the extra pages that I use. So like I have something for like my social media stats and my health and fitness, and those pages are in here, but they only went through June. So I really wanted to switch journals. And initially I was going to switch to this, which is the Tool. But as soon as I started sketching in it, I realized that the dot spacing in this was just almost too big, and I'm not sure if I can handle it. So I went ahead and ordered another Nuna, but it won't be here in time for me to get my July setup in. So I'm going to give it a whirl today in this Tool notebook. Now this does not come with dot grid pages. This is not sponsored. At one time I did receive this for free as part of a sponsorship, but this video is not sponsored. But the paper that was initially in this was lined paper. I ordered some dot grid paper from Etsy. I don't remember the name of the shop, but I will leave the link to this notebook and also the dot grid paper that I got from Etsy that fits in it down below in the description if you want to check it out. I love that this is a disc bound, so what you're going to see in this is me actually taking the pages out of this to draw on them, and then switching back and putting them back in, which is really an awesome concept for the disc bound system. I'm just not sure I can work with something that is this small in comparison to this. I know they look the same, but the pages inside are only that big. We'll see how July goes in this, and if I can't handle it, I'll be back to a new Nuna in August, but I'm kind of hoping that I'm just gonna start to like it and get used to it, and that I can continue on with this. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I would love to see your recreations. If you decide to recreate anything from this video, just feel free to tag me at the Petite Planner on Instagram. I'd love to see what you're doing. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. Okay guys, so what I am using for this setup is the Tool notebook, some Crayola Super Tip markers, some fine line pens from Micron and Faber-Castell, a pencil, and then the Tombow Foodie pen. So I am starting off by taking this page out of my journal. It's way easier to write in the disc bounds when you actually remove the paper, which is a little bit of a pain, but at the same time it's really nice because you can then move pages around, or if you decide that you don't like it, you can just kind of discard it or get rid of it. So this month I decided that I wanted to do something kind of summery. And so I decided to go with a very simple watermelon theme, and this is actually going to be slightly inspired by Amanda Rach Lee. I watched her video from last month with the bubble tea and the way that she outlined them, and I thought it was a really neat and kind of abstract look. So I kind of went for a very similar thing by just taking my Crayola Super Tips and creating these rough triangles, and then I took this graphic Micron pen and very loosely traced around them, trying not to make it too perfect. And then lastly, I used my green Crayola Super Tip to add the rind of the watermelon. And then for my lettering, I sketched out these kind of blockish letters that are very tall and narrow, but then they also have a thick part with the Micron, and then I used the Tombow Foodie pen to fill it in. So here for the calendar, I'm just going to take out both pages. I think it makes it easier that way, so I can actually set it up the way I would set up a calendar in like a Nuna. So instead of just doing one page at a time, I'm trying to line them up so I can just take it and do it all the way across both pages. So I've kind of done a similar setup before where I have Monday through Friday on the left-hand page and then Saturday and Sunday on the right. And I really like this because it definitely separates out my weekend from my weeks and kind of gives me a better idea of what my weekdays look like. So I didn't fill these in with big boxes. I just kind of wanted some simple lines with the color to kind of give it that pop, but I just didn't want it to be super enclosed because I'm going to have a bunch of other enclosed areas on this page. And then I'm using my fine line pen to mark in the dates. So I've mentioned it before, I mainly use my calendar for like an editorial calendar, but July's gonna be busy. It's actually my 10-year high school reunion in July, which, oh gosh, that really dates me. But I also have some other events going on, and we are going on a big camping trip, so there's a lot to write in this little calendar. And then here at the bottom is my goals section. So you guys have also seen this if you've been watching my channel for a while. I like to add my goals. So I add 3 or 4 main goals, and then I do a weekly check-in. So those first boxes on the left are for the goal, and then the check-ins are to the right, and they are every Sunday. Also, if you didn't know, I do create monthly printable bullet journal setups. They're not always the exact same as mine. This month for July, I have a really fun summery theme. So the cover page has this really awesome summer doodle wreath on it, and then it has a whole bunch of different pages that are included. I'll pop a screenshot in right now so you can kind of get an idea, but I will leave the link down below if you are in a hurry or if you don't like setting up your monthly setup. I always have one every single month available in my shop, and I try to keep them fairly reasonably priced, and some of the pages you can even use in other months. I don't make them month specific. So if you only want to get it for 1 month, that's fine too. So here on the calendar, I kind of went with the same theme. I'm doing the same kind of watermelon doodles and the same text for the July part. And then on the far right page, this is where my habit tracker goes. Amazingly enough, even though these pages are so much smaller than the Nuna, I did manage to fit all of this on one page, and I actually really end up liking how it turned out. I'm kind of a person who likes a lot. Like, I guess it depends per month. Some months I'm more minimalist, and some months I want like a whole lot all in one page, and that was kind of what this month ended up being. So while I create all these dots, I will briefly tell you that one of the reasons I am not so fond of this paper is because, as you can see, this is 31 days high, and that barely leaves me any room at the top. So that means I have to use icons, and this is almost the only style of setup I can do. I can't do a horizontal setup unless it spans 2 pages, or I could do mini trackers. So my trackers at the top are just these little icons. I know what they represent, but from left to right, they are workout, intermittent fast, journal, intimacy, yoga, work, time outside, and water intake. So the next page that I'll be doing here is what I'm going to call the daily dose of self-love. So I feel like every single month I try to focus a little bit more on just me, and that may sound selfish to some people, but as a mom of 2, especially during the summer, and then also a mom who works from home, I often don't take very good care of myself. I'm always focused on either work or my children or keeping up with the house or cooking. So I just wanted to focus on just being the best version of myself so that I can be the best mom and the best wife. So I created this page with the intention of something like a daily gratitude page, except this is going to be a daily dose of self-love. So every day my plan is to write something positive and affirmative about myself, whether it's about my health or what kind of a person I am, what kind of a heart I have, my ambition. So just whatever I really feel that day about myself, and it's something that I might have to focus on and really have to think about, but that's what I will write on each of these lines. So then in this open space down below, I did decide to make a drawing with a quote that kind of went along with it. So the quote that goes along with this page says, "Get wasted on self-love and respect." And then I, of course, had to draw this very summery watermelon drink to go along with it. But I just figured that it was kind of fitting. It was just something I made up, but it was probably inspired somewhere. I don't want to get myself in trouble. Maybe I saw it on Pinterest or something. I don't know. If this seems like it's something that is fitting to your life and your journal and you decide to add it, please let me know, even if you don't want to post it on Instagram, if you want to send it in a message or an email. I'd love to see what you create and kind of hear your experience with it. I think that everybody needs a little bit more self-love in their life. We're all very distracted with technology and followers and everything else. So sometimes it's just really good to come back to who we are and what we really like about ourselves at its core. So moving on to the next page, I am still including a gratitude log because I don't want it to be all about me, and oftentimes what I'm grateful for are the other people that are in my life. So I do want to continue with my daily gratitude. Gratitude has been something that I haven't always been super consistent with, and for a while it felt like it was forced and like it wasn't something that just came naturally to me, but the more that I practiced it, the more that I realized how important and beneficial it is in my life. If I'm having a bad day or if I think things are not going the way I want them to go, gratitude is always something that I come back to because it really puts it into perspective how much we do have to be grateful for. And when you think your life is bad, just all the things that actually aren't so bad. So I like to keep this, and I keep them very short. My gratitude is not super long, although I do keep a separate journal where I often do express further gratitude, but this is just something where I keep something very small. So sometimes that might just be that I'm very grateful to live close to my family and to my children's cousin, or that I am grateful for my job and that I am able to work from home and be with my children. So those are some of the little things that I sometimes put in my gratitude log. It just depends on the day. But all this just comes back to, if you don't keep a gratitude log or it doesn't feel like it comes natural to you, I encourage you to keep trying and just kind of force yourself to do it. And you will start to notice a difference in your mindset and how you think about things. Instead of just always wanting things, you will come to this realization of, wow, I have all this amazing stuff to be thankful for. So if you haven't done it, give it a try, give it another try. I promise that it's totally worth it. So the next page is my workout log. So being completely honest, my log from last month absolutely sucked, and I didn't do nearly as much. I didn't end up running hardly at all because I have terrible shin splints, so that didn't end up working out. But I have dropped some weight. I feel really good about my body, and I've still been doing the Les Mills on demand workouts, and they are incredibly tough, but they definitely get the work done. I burn so many calories in comparison to other workouts when I do them. I am only 4'10", and I burn about 320 calories per 30-minute workout that I do. So if it's something that sounds interesting to you, be sure to check out the link that is in my description. They do offer a free trial, so you don't have to pay before you play, I guess. But I've really enjoyed them, so be sure to check out that link down below. So the final 2 pages in my journal for July are these visual journal pages. I just called them daily doodles. This is inspired by Stillo Noir on Instagram. I will leave her handle down below. But she's been keeping a visual journal for at least over a year now. I saved one of her posts on to my saved Instagram thing, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I just haven't. So I finally decided to try it this month. I figured that it's a good way to keep myself doodling and being creative each day, and it's also just a good way to kind of recap your day and just draw these very simple, not super intricate doodles in these little boxes every day. So I just made enough boxes to fill 2 sheets of paper, and it came out to 70 boxes. So that will be a little over 2 doodles per day to fill this up. I think I would like to go with something bigger eventually, or do it in a separate notebook, but I figured this was a good start and a good way to try. So my intention is to write a very small date above each box for the days that I'm doodling it. So if this is something that interests you, be sure to check out Stillo Noir on Instagram. She's got a ton of these pages filled with these little tiny doodles, and it's very inspirational. And with that wraps up my July bullet journal setup. Again, be sure to check the links down below. I'll have the links for all the supplies I used. Also, I'll have links to Les Mills On Demand free trial and to the July bullet journal printable setup that's in my shop. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video.